So now that we're recording, I'd like to go ahead and pass it off to the Human Interest Professionals Club. Okay, take it away, Hannah or Lindlin.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I've been the HIP Club president for 2 years now, I think, since like fall 2019, I think. Our club provides students with opportunities to volunteer in the community, enhance their leadership skills, and develop as professionals through mentorship. Our forte is volunteer work through organized events to interact with groups of people in the community that we encounter, and we welcome undergraduate students of all majors, and we were founded in 2015, I think. So some of our volunteering events are, we volunteer in the community, including local soup kitchens, nursing homes, charities, or different events to raise awareness for children's issues. So I think last year, before COVID happened, we volunteered at the Halloween Fun Fest at the Marketplace Mall in October. And there were just different games set up, and we interacted with children and families in the community. And another volunteer event we had was making, I think, dolls for I think it was Jan to take to South Africa. So we had like a doll making event at a church. And then there's been some bake sales that we've done. But ever since COVID happened, we've been having online volunteer opportunities like card making and sending cards to the elderly and hospitalized children. But other than that, we've been trying to just kind of like see where things go after COVID. And I think there'll be more in-person volunteer opportunities starting next fall. I won't be the president anymore because I'll be graduating, but we've selected a new president. Her name is Mary, and a vice president. Her name is Jennifer. They couldn't be here tonight, but they will be taking over the club. And in the next slide, there's some pictures of just some of the volunteer events we had. And the left picture is some of the cards we made this semester to send to the elderly who are quarantining by themselves. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. And I see the dolls that you made down here for South Africa for one of the study abroad trips.
Yes, those were the dolls.
Yeah, those are awesome. Awesome. Okay, so next up we have ISCFR.
Hi everyone, so I am Sam, and just to give you guys a little background, I'm a doctoral student in HDFS. So our club has professional and volunteer student organizations that include graduate and undergraduate students. So that's something within our officers, we have graduate students and undergraduates. So we really try to work together to find best ways to talk about families and also volunteer in the community. So a lot of what we do is have discussions on families and family relationships. And we also try to incorporate professional development skills. So we have a lot of panels to talk about life after graduating, whether that be from a graduate degree or an undergraduate degree. And we also have events to encourage volunteering. So specifically this semester, we volunteered at Feeding Our Kids, and we packed lunches for families that might not have the resources during the pandemic. So we try to do a lot of volunteer opportunities for families and children, but we also, similar to the HIP Club, we wrote letters to elders in the fall. So we try to incorporate a lot of community work within our efforts. And one thing that's different about ICFR is we are actually underneath NCFR, which is the National Council on Family Relations. So something that comes with this club, if you are interested in research or conferences, that's something that you can definitely express to us, and we can work together to provide you with those opportunities of either conducting research or attending those conferences. So, and also just a little more information. We were founded in 2016, but that's something that developed over the years. We don't actually know when ICFR started, because we know that HDFS started doing these kind of student organizations earlier in the year. So that's something that we've been working towards. And then the next slide, these are just some more examples. So the Feeding Our Kids is something that we've actually been trying to stick with. So that's something that we did last semester and this semester. So we're trying to really develop that relationship and help them, especially during the pandemic. And like I mentioned before, we wrote letters to elders at local facilities in this Champaign-Urbana area. And then for these professional development events, we bring in people that have graduated in different areas. So the last one that we had people that just finished graduate school and that may be in postdoc positions. So that involves kind of furthering their education after graduate school. But then we also had a child life professional who talked more about kind of majors that are really similar for undergraduates in HDFS. And then we also had someone who specifically works in outreach and come and talk about how that you can be more involved within the community. And so in our monthly meetings that we try to have a piece that talks specifically about families, but we also spend time to really dive into resources that are in our community and how to best take care of ourselves, especially with the pandemic going on and everything that's happening in the world. We want to make sure that we are here for each other and providing each other with resources and opportunities. So we try to connect all those volunteer, professional, and social resources together. And then I have a few pictures of past events. So you see on kind of the bottom corners, that's with us preparing packages for different families for Feeding Our Kids. And then in that middle picture, that was pre-pandemic, where we would help out at Thomas Paine Elementary School. And for that, they had a lot of like carnival games and minute to win it type games. So we were able to help out with those events. And then I just have some screenshots of how our meetings currently look. So we currently have them over Zoom. We're hoping that as people get more vaccinated and things like that, that might change. And then we also, it's unfortunately closed now, but the Children Science Museum, when that was open, we would also attend events there as well to help the children's and family kind of have events over the weekends. And yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. And next up, we have the U of I Child Life Association, and I will hand it off to your team.
So our president can be here today. It's Sol. I'm currently the vice president of the Child Life Association, and our advisor is Emily Hurth, who is a certified child life specialist. And so a little bit about the Child Life Association. It's an organization that looks for students looking to go into the field of child life. We also have a lot of members that aren't going into child life. They want to go into a similar field, working with children and families, especially in the healthcare field. And the club prepares students for their future careers, explaining different practicums, internships. We have a lot, there was like a panel yesterday, but we have a lot of child life specialists come in and talk about their experience or people in similar fields in the healthcare field. And we go out in the community as well. And we have a lot of local volunteer events. We did some of the similar ones that have been mentioned before in other clubs. And we try to get our members into like the hospitals and anywhere like with kids that can get them the experience they need, because child life needs a lot of volunteer hours. So it's a great way to get involved and get educated with the child life field. And we do a lot of College of ACES activities. We're at Explore ACES and different leadership development programs to further just outside of child life. And so our mission is to help children and families cope during stressful situations. And we have right now just have undergrad students, but any majors welcome. We have a lot of psychology students as well. And we were founded in 2015. So some of our activities, we have bi-weekly or monthly meetings depending on the topic that we're talking about that month. A lot of child life, career, and we recently had an alumni panel at our last event where students actually graduated last year that were able to come in and talk about what they decided to do after graduation to prepare themselves for child life. Volunteering opportunities around campus and the local Champaign-Urbana communities. And we have a monthly social events, which are all currently online because of COVID. And we usually play like Jackbox games or just something fun to relax and just get our mind off school. And then we've done some giveaways on our on our social medias to promote child life. And then we also have educational meetings about how to prepare for graduate studies, post-graduation plans, and then also just typical like interview questions that might come up, or how to write a great resume. We spent a lot of workshops on those. And then we have our executive board offers a lot of leadership opportunities for students. Yep, and these are just some of our pictures. That's our exec board at the top. And then the rest are our volunteer opportunities. That's us at the mall again, like other clubs. And then we did a fundraising day with Crisis Nursery in the bottom right corner. There was a big push day for them, so we were able to go and hold signs and get as many donations as we could for them. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will be talking about the HDFS Ambassadors, which as an acronym is HDFSA. And so I advise the HDFS Ambassadors. They're not a registered student organization, which is a student organization that is has a president, a vice president, a treasurer, and is self-governed essentially on campus. HDFS Ambassadors used to be an RSO, and they are now essentially department affiliated volunteers. And so I have the privilege of being able to work with them, and they help me do a lot of stuff, which I'll talk about now. So essentially, yes, they're a department affiliated organization. So they are an affiliate of the HDFS department itself, and they are volunteers in service to us, and they mainly help with recruitment of prospective students. So like events like this, but anything related to talking to about what it's like to be a U of I major, an HDFS major, prospective students that have applied to HDFS or who are maybe juniors or sophomores or younger in high school and are interested in HDFS or trying to figure out if it's the right fit for them. HDFS Ambassadors are really the first point of contact from our major with prospective students. And our mission statement is, as HDFS Ambassadors, we are committed to bringing our unique experiences and resiliency together to create an inclusive environment where we inspire students to find their true potential at the U of I while fostering strong relationships with those with whom we interact. So to kind of summarize that, the ambassadors really are focused on just helping students find the right fit for a lot of HDFS majors. HDFS wasn't something that they knew about before they came to the U of I. And so if you were lucky enough to know about it and you applied for it, and that's how you're here, that's awesome. For a lot of students, especially several HDFS ambassadors, part of the reason why they're so passionate about being in the major and being an ambassador for it is because they found out about it their second semester here, and they actually transferred from a different major, or they started out undecided. And then as they talked to advisors and different people, they realized, oh, HDFS is the place where I need to be for what I'm interested in. And so because of that, we're really committed to not trying to fit people into HDFS, but just getting the word out about HDFS, because we know once people find it, they can make their home here if it's the right fit for them. And it's currently only open to undergraduate HDFS majors. So unlike the previous organizations you heard from, to be an HDFS ambassador, you actually do have to be an HDFS major. And it was founded about 7+ years ago with the previous department head of HDFS, who established that there was a need for a student organization to help us recruit students for the major.